I was watching this anime called Delicious in Dungeon. There, I think you would enjoy this one because it is exactly the right level of unhinged. Um, Basically, just to break down the plot a little bit, um, a party of adventurers enters this labyrinth full of monsters, right? And
Yeah.
towards the bottom, a dragon is there, and they're fighting it. But the thing is, they are such a crap party of adventurers that they got all the way down to that level. They were low on rations because they lost a bunch of them. So they're not fighting at full strength because they're all hungry. And so, last minute, before the dragon deals a killing blow to all the party, their priest steps in and casts a spell to teleport them all out of the dungeon, and she gets eaten by the dragon. Now, this is the kind of fantasy where you can technically bring people back to life with magic. So the thing that they want to do is they want to get there back to the floor that they were on before she is fully digested by the dragon. But the thing is, when they got teleported out, they lost all their gear, literally everything that they had that was worth any money. And so now they don't even have enough money to eat. So what happens is their leader, who happens to be the brother to the priest that teleported them out, decides, you know what? It's a dungeon full of monsters. Why don't we start killing the monsters and making food out of them? And everyone looks at him like he's crazy because like, you're gonna make food out of monsters, out of giant scorpions, out of walking mushroom men, out of like slimes and moss and everything. And he's all like, yeah. And at first it seems like it's a practical thing, but like the further you go, the more you realize that this guy is just like this was always in his mind. He always just looked at monsters in a labyrinth and was like, yeah, I'm gonna eat some of that. So they start just kind of like, and he's the one that's enthusiastic about it. The rest of the party's like, you have got to be out of your freaking mind. And so he convinces them well enough, and they start, catching giant scorpions and boiling them like lobsters, killing mushroom men and then using their parts to make, like, mushroom stuff. Like drying up slimes and turning them into noodles. And all of this on their way back down to collect their priest before she's fully digested by the dragon.
This sounds like Food Wars at home.
It sounds like Food Wars at home. Yeah, it is hilarious because it's got one of those weird sense of humor where, like, the premise is absurd and it everybody in the anime knows it's absurd, and they're all calling it out as what it is. Like, this is crazy that we're having to resort to this, but they're all just going along with it because they have no choice. It's kind of like I saw a meme describing like the premise of this anime, and it's basically all of the main characters. So like the leader who's looks to be some kind of warrior, their elf mage, like their halfling rogue, um, and like their dwarven like tank, and all of them are just kind of like they have a speech bubble over their head that says, "Oh, everyone else in this party's insane. Thank goodness I'm the only one who's sane." And it's just like, yeah, this is exactly it. Every single one of them thinks that they're the sane one, but they're all unhinged in their own unique ways. So yeah, this is kind of a fun anime. It knows that its premise is absurd, and that's kind of the joke. It's just kind of like wink wink, like, yeah, this is silly. Like, they're eating monsters, and like every time that something attacks them, now suddenly they kind of have it in their head as like, I could probably eat that.
I mean, isn't that just like a normal mindset of You
Right.
see an animal and you're like, I could probably eat that animal.
Yeah, exactly. I'm so hungry I could eat a chimera, right? Also,
Yeah,
I want to point out that the title is Delicious in Dungeon, aka D&D.
yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty great. Like I would recommend it. Heck, I'd say you and I should watch it because I honestly think that you would get a kick out of it. Like as I was watching that's immediately what came to my mind. I was like, this is exactly the kind of thing that would make Dare laugh. Or at the very least, like he would appreciate the humor in it. So I mean, it's something that we should check out if you have the time.
This is the thing that would make Dare incredibly hungry.
Yeah.
So we should watch it, and then Dare will eat
Yeah, yeah.
animals.